So you can't see anything?
No, it hurts. Hi gang, welcome back to Grace's Book Place. I'm Grace and this is my book place. Today we're going to be doing the first line tag or first line challenge. I probably said that wrong, but the correct title will be around the video somewhere. But yeah, so Caleb is going to be helping me. Yeah. So I'm gonna blindfold myself to make sure that no one can accuse me of cheating, though I don't know if I'm going to be any good at this. Caleb is going to be choosing a random book off of the bookshelf. I've read the majority of books on the bookshelf, though there is a chance he may accidentally pick one up that I haven't read, but it's a slim chance, I guess. But he's got to read the first line, and I have to guess what book it is off that. If I can't guess, we just keep reading the next line and the next until I guess it. Or until I give up and you just tell me what it is.
Awesome.
And maybe if I could talk you into it, we could do this the other way around with some books that you might know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, shall we start? Help me tie this around my head.
Yeah, sure. Right.
I cannot see. Ow! My eye is being squished.
Good. So, shall we begin?
Yeah. Don't forget to show it to the camera when you choose.
First, before I speak it.
Yeah. Like, pick it off the shelf, show it to the camera, and then read the first line.
How many do we do?
Until we get bored.
First book. We're going to start off easy. Okay. Look, I didn't want to be a half-blood.
This is Percy Jackson.
And which one is it?
I didn't want to be. Is it the first one?
It
It's
is.
starting off easy.
Yeah.
It's Lightning Thief.
Yeah, Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief.
Yes.
Nice. Okay, like I said, we'll start off easy. Is proving more difficult than you might think to get out some of these books.
Okay, book number 2. In a hole in the ground.
It's The
Where
Hobbit.
lived
A Hobbit.
Yes.
Not a dirty, smelly hole.
Not a nasty, dirty, wet hole
Yeah,
filled
that
with
one.
the ends of worms and an oozy smell.
Yeah.
Nor yet a dry, bare, sandy
All
hole
right.
with nothing in it to
Get
sit
it? It's the flipping
down.
Hobbit, mate. Easy rounds.
Okay. Book number 3. Let's make sure it focus. Mrs. Rachel Lynde.
This
Lives
is Anne of
just
Green
where
Gables.
the Avalonia main road
And
dips
Green Gables.
down into a little hollow fringed with boulders and ladies' eardrops place.
It's a very long first line.
It was reputed to be an intricate, headlong brook. It's a very long sentence.
That is the whole. Yeah.
It's
the
still
first
going.
Yeah.
But by the time it reached Lynn's Hollow, it was a quiet, well-conducted little stream, for not even a brook could run past Miss Rachel Lynde's door, and that if she noticed anything odd or out of place, she would never rest until she had ferreted out the whys and wherefores thereof.
Yeah, it's an extremely long first line. But it's a great book.
Right, okay, let's start making things a little bit more difficile.
Okay, there's book number 4. It is a truth, universally
Pride and
acknowledged,
Prejudice. That a man,
that a single man,
a single man, should be in want of a bride or
that a
something.
single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife.
Yes.
Absolutely, Pride and Prejudice.
One of the
by
most
Jane Austen.
iconic first lines ever. I'm doing better than I thought, but then
Yeah.
again, you have gone easy on
We
me.
have started easily, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, book number 5. Kay took another drag on her cigarette
Tithe.
and dropped it into her mother's beer bottle. Yeah,
Tithe.
absolutely. By who?
By Holly Black.
Yeah.
It's one of
Spot
my
on.
favourite teenage reads. I made you read that book.
You did make me read that book.
Book number 6. Cease, I think. Marianne answers the door when Cannell rings the bell.
Marianne answers the door when Cannell rings the bell. Have I definitely read this book?
Don't know.
Okay.
It's a good question. I mean, some, I'm bound to pick out some accidentally that you haven't read, but that's what makes it fun.
Marianne answers the door as who?
Marianne answers the door when Cannell rings the bell.
Cannell.
Yep. Or Connell.
Connell.
Connell. I read it as Cannell.
I think it's Connell.
Connell.
Marianne and Connell. I don't know. Next line.
She's still wearing her school uniform, but she's taken off the sweater, so it's just the blouse and skirt.
Oh!
And she has no shoes on,
Oh.
only tights.
Normal people.
Yeah, Normal
It's
People
Normal
by
People.
Sally
I
Rooney.
forgot that his name, what their names were. But yeah. It's, I remember
Correct.
it last minute
Well
because
done,
they're
well done, well
Irish.
done.
Marianne and Connell. Yeah. I needed the second line for that, but.
Loser. Okay.
But
Book
so
number
right.
7. Blah, 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 blah,
Blah, blah, blah.
3rd of May. Left Munich at 8:35 p.m. On 1st of May, arriving at Vienna early next morning. Should have arrived at 6:46, but train was an hour late.
Say that again.
3rd of May.
Say that again.
Left Munich at 8:35 p.m. On 1st of May, arriving at Vienna early next morning. Should have arrived at 6:46, but train was an hour late.
Munich to Vienna. It's like like there's a bell ringing somewhere distantly in my head, and I don't know what this is. Next line.
Budapest seems a wonderful place. From the glimpse which I got of it from the train and the little I could walk through the streets.
What's the third line?
I feared to go very far from the station, as we had arrived late and would start as near the correct time as possible.
Night Circus.
Nope.
Ah, flippin' dippity.
Flippin' dippity. The impression I had was that we were leaving the west and entering the east, the most western of splendid bridges over the Danube, which is here of noble width and depth, took us among the traditions of Turkish rule.
What? I don't think I've read this.
I would contest that.
Oh, sorry, I have read this. Oh! No, it's not that.
Okay, next line.
Yeah.
We left in pretty good time and came after nightfall to Klausenburg. Here I stopped for the night at the Hotel Royale.
The Hotel Royale.
So I just keep reading until you guess.
Yeah.
Okay. I had for dinner, or rather supper, a chicken done up some way with red pepper, which was very good but thirsty. Get the recipe from Mina. I asked the waiter.
From who?
Get the recipe for Mina.
For Mina.
I asked
okay.
the waiter, and he said it was called paprika hendel, and that, as it was a national dish, I should be able to get it anywhere.
Is this
along
Dracula?
It is indeed.
I've not read Dracula since middle school.
But you have read it.
No, not in full. That's why I bought the book.
Well, you've definitely read at least this part.
I don't think I have. I think we read an extract from when he arrives at the castle. But cool. No, yeah, you said Mina, and I was like, oh, Dracula.
Right, next book. When blank opens the curtains, the day is light and grey, the radio playing a half-known song. I have blanked the name because I would like to make it more difficult.
Okay, yeah, that's
Difficile.
cool. It opens the curtains, something playing on the radio. No, I don't know that. Next line.
He listens to the news about a girl who's gone missing from a bus stop up north
Oh,
and drinks from a mug of brown tea.
this is to the news. I read this very recently. This is the news about a girl who's gone missing. Oh. Why is this ringing so many bells? Have I read this?
I believe so.
This is about a girl who's gone missing from a bus stop.
That's what it said. He listens to the news
I
about
read
a girl
this-
who's gone missing from a bus stop up north
I
and
feel
drinks
like
from a mug of brown tea.
I feel like I've read this really recently. Is it Hunting Party?
It is not.
Oh, it feels like a
Next
thriller
line.
thing. Okay.
Poor mother's beside herself. Well, she would be. Short hair, short skirt, big eyes. That's how he pictures the girl, shivering in the cold. An empty bus stop where someone should have stood, waving or drowning, and the bus pulls up and away, never the wiser, and the pavement shines on in the black rain.
Is it Southern Book Club?
Nope. Do
Oh, I know it couldn't be because the main character is a woman, but I'm.
you want to get it on the next line?
Okay.
You will. The sea is quiet, with the glass-like quality that comes after.
Oh, it's
bad weather.
Lamplighters!
It is indeed,
I
by who?
knew I'd read it really recently. I forgot fact that Lamplighter starts with like a random side character and not the main people.
When Jory opens the curtains.
That's so annoying.
If I'd have said Jory, would you have got it?
Yeah. Because
That's
it's the
why I
only
wanted
book
to-
I've read that has a character called Jory in
That's
it.
why I wanted to blank it out, so I was like, no.
Oh,
By who? Do you remember?
Emma Stonex?
Correct. Next book. On that day in 1914, a young girl banged on the door of the Hôpital de la Miséricorde in Montreal.
Sorry? Miser what now?
On that day in 1914, a young girl banged on the door of the Hôpital de la Miséricorde
Hospital
in Montreal.
Have I read it?
I believe so, yeah?
Now I've got a folk song in my head that mentions Montreal. Because it's Canadian, right? But like French Canadian. Raise your flags and your rifles high. I don't know, next line. What are you doing?
No business.
What are you doing over there?
I'm prepping some books because I don't want in different places. I'm putting them in different places because I don't want you thinking too much about where you've heard me be. Next line. She was pudgy and had round apple cheeks and blonde ringlets.
I'm going to start just making guesses.
Yep, that would be nice. Just sat here waiting like lemons.
I don't think this is right, but is it Lonely Hearts Hotel?
It is indeed.
Is it really?
It is indeed. She
Oh,
was
I think-
only 12 years old.
Is that... She knocked on the door of the...
Hôpital de la Miséricorde.
Yeah,
In
because
Montreal.
that whole thing opens up like...
Her older cousin, Thomas, had gone
Yes,
overseas
it's
to France
Rose's
to
mother.
fight.
Yeah. Oh, stop.
Who's it by?
Heather O'Neill.
Yeah, it is indeed. It is
Um,
indeed.
It's a good book, but that opening is really distressing.
Okay, next book, number 9.
My nose is itching a lot.
Itch it?
I've been itching it. It's like the scarf is like... Okay, Karen.
The formidable glass and steel structure rose from its position on Front Street like a glittering needle threading the sky. I mean, that's quite generic, so that's difficult.
Yeah. Big glass building.
The formidable glass and steel structure rose from its position on Front Street like a glittering needle threading the sky.
Next line.
There were 57 floors in the Metropole, Manhattan's most expensive new downtown condominium tower.
Right.
The topmost floor, the 57th, contained the most luxurious apartment of all, the Metropole Penthouse, a masterpiece of sleek black and white design.
I read this.
I believe so.
Is it? No, that's not how that book starts. I was going to say Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, but that's not how that book begins.
Next line.
Yeah.
Too new to have gathered dust yet, its bare marble floors reflected back the stars visible through the enormous floor-to-ceiling windows. The window glass was perfectly translucent, providing such a complete illusion that there was nothing between the viewer and the view that it had been known to induce vertigo even in those unafraid of heights. So there were 2 sentences there.
Bro, I have no idea what's happening. I don't know. There's a big building and there's a black and white fancy apartment.
Far below ran the silver ribbon of the East River, braceleted by shining bridges, flecked by boats as small as fly specks, splitting the shining banks of light that were Manhattan and Brooklyn on either side. On a clear night, the illuminated Statue of Liberty was just visible to the south, but there was fog tonight, and Liberty Island was hidden behind a white bank of mist.
Okay, we're in New York, America.
Yep.
As
As opposed to New York,
somewhere else.
Australia.
I don't know what books I've read that have taken place in New York, and I'm sure that they have, and we're talking about an apartment, but it's not Yoke, is it?
Nope.
Okay, carry on. I don't think Yoke talks like that, it's not that kind of book.
However spectacular the view, the man standing in front of the window didn't look particularly impressed by it. There was a frown on his narrow, ascetic face as he turned away from the glass and strode across the floor, and heels of his boots echoing against the marble. "Aren't you ready yet?" he demanded, raking a hand through his salt white hair. "We've been here nearly an hour."
This is not it's not a Heroes of Olympus book, is it?
Nope.
Or Trials of Apollo?
Nope.
Okay, I don't know. Next line. This one's the worst one.
The boy kneeling on the floor looked up at him, nervous and petulant. "It's the marble. It's more solid than I thought. It's making it hard to draw the pentagram."
Huh? What?
"So skip the pentagram." Up close, it was easier to see that despite his white hair, the man wasn't old. His hard face was severe but unlined, his eyes clear and steady.
A pentagram? Is this a Mortal Instruments book?
Maybe. I need a book title.
I don't know who this man is with the white hair. Is it Sebastian? No, because it's an old man. You said it was an old man.
Up close, it was easier to see that despite his white hair, the man wasn't old. The pentagram is a necessary part of any demon-raising ritual. You know that, sir. Without it, we're not protected. I know that, young Elias. But get on with it. I've known warlocks who could raise a demon, chat him up, and dispatch him back to hell in the time it's taken you to draw half a 5-pointed star.
Is it the first Mortal Instruments book?
Uh-uh.
Oh my goodness. I haven't read the Mortal Instruments books since high school. We're supposed to be rereading them soon, so I don't know if
Yep.
City of Fire.
Nope.
City of Bones, City of Ash.
Yeah, City of Ashes.
I don't know. I wouldn't have known. I just had to name them all. So I
Correct.
wouldn't have known that exactly.
Next book. In 1988, George H.W. Bush had just won the presidential election by inviting everyone to read his lips, while Michael Dukakis lost it by riding in a tank.
Oh, I know this. I've just read this.
So you say?
No, this is like familiar in like a recent way. Like is this Southern Book Club?
Yeah, the Southern Book Club's Guide to
Yeah.
Slaying Vampires by.
Grady Hendrix.
Yeah. Next book, number 10.
Is it number 10?
I think so, yeah. When he was nearly 13, my brother Jem got his arm badly broken at the elbow. Probably shouldn't have said the name, but here we are.
My brother Jem. Okay. Crap. So my brother Jem.
Next line.
Yeah.
When it healed and Jem's fears of never being able to play football were assuaged, he was seldom self-conscious about his injury. What did you say?
I don't think it's assuaged.
What is it? Assuaged?
Is it UA?
A-S-S-U-A-G-E-D.
Assuaged, I think.
Assuaged. He was seldom self-conscious about his injury.
Oh my brother Jem. Ha! Next line.
His left arm was somewhat shorter than his right. When he stood or walked, the back of his hand was at right angles to his body, his thumb parallel to his thigh. He couldn't have cared less so long as he could pass and punt. So just keep going?
Are you sure I've read this?
No. When enough years had gone by to enable us to look back on them, you should have them.
Oh.
We
okay.
sometimes discuss the events leading to his accident. I maintain that the Yules started it all, but Jem, who was 4 years my senior, said it started long before that. He said it began the summer Dill came to us, when Dill first gave us the idea of making Boo Radley come out.
What the flip are you talking about?
You don't know those names? Oh, wow. Okay, I thought
Is
you'd
this
got it
the-
at that point.
Boo Radley.
Yeah, I thought you'd have got it at that point.
Yes.
Dill and Boo Radley.
I don't know if I've read this.
I'm not sure if you have, but I thought that those names might have sparked it.
Jem, Boo Radley. So it's an old book.
I said if you wanted to take a broad view of the thing, it really began with Andrew Jackson. If General Jackson hadn't run the creeks up the creek, Simon Finch would never have paddled up the Alabama. And where would we be if we hadn't? We were far too old to settle an argument with a fist fight, so we consulted Atticus. Our father said we were both right. Atticus, come on! Fair enough. You clearly
Hold
not
on,
read
shush.
it, but
Atticus. These names all ring a bell, but I don't think
Yeah.
I've read this book.
yeah, you'd have.
It's
by
like
the
a class.
names, you'd
It
have
sounds like classic American literature.
You're not wrong.
What do I own that's classic American literature? Let me think for a second. Bro, you have not picked up. Do we own Moby Dick?
Nope.
Okay, so it's not
Well, I might do, but it's not the book I've got.
Atticus. I'm just thinking of Taboo now because there's a character called Atticus in that. Next line.
Being Southerners, it was a source of shame to some members of the family that we had no recorded ancestors on either side of the Battle of Hastings. All we had was Simon Finch, a fur-trapping apothecary from Cornwall whose piety was exceeded only by his stinginess. Simon was irritated by the persecution of those who called themselves Methodists at the hands of their more liberal brethren, and as Simon called himself a Methodist, He worked his way across the Atlantic to Philadelphia, thence to Jamaica, thence to Mobile, and up to St. Stephen's.
I don't know what's happening.
Okay, I'm tell you what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna skip some
Right.
until we get to, because there is here
Atticus
we go.
Radley.
Here we go. Okay. When my father, I'm skipping some.
Yeah.
When my father was admitted to the bar, he returned to Maycomb and began his practice.
Bro, is this To Kill a Mockingbird?
It is indeed.
I've never read this
It
book.
is indeed.
I didn't even know these characters' names were in this book. Okay, sit down. I'm gonna test
I'm
you.
doing it.
I'm gonna test
Is
you
it all
a
going to be in the
couple
same
of-
video?
Yeah, why not?
Tight. I can hear you guys up pointing.
Oh no, the light's shining on it. Okay, I'm gonna blank the names because it will make it really easy. When Blank announced that he would shortly be celebrating his 11th birthday with a party of special magnificence, there was much talk and excitement in Blank.
Yeah, it's Lord of the Rings. It's good old Bilbo celebrating his 11th birthday
Yeah, that
in Hobbiton.
That one's really easy. Okay. Can you sing it?
I just heard you there, so.
To Mrs. Saville, England. St.
Whoa! Jimmy's wife.
Stop. St. Petersburg, December 11th, 17. Redacted. You will rejoice to hear that no disaster has accompanied the commencement of an enterprise which you have regarded with such evil forebodings. This is actually quite hard.
Frankenstein.
Yes! Even before he got electrocuted, Blank was having a rotten day.
So, which Percy Jackson is that then? That is. What is Olympus? Electrocuted. Jason was having a rotten day. It's Heroes of Olympus. Is it the first one? Lost Hero?
Yeah!
Yeah.
That was really good! Don't judge me.
What about you?
I'm backing away.
Oh.
The studio was filled with the rich odour of roses, and when the light summer wind
Roses.
stirred amidst the trees of the garden, there came through the open door the heavy scent of the lilac, or the more delicate perfume of the pink flowering thorn.
Wow. Okay. That's a classic book, by the sounds of it.
Yeah,
No.
sorry.
You gotta let me get there.
Yeah, I'll show
Work
it now.
out. Can you read it again? Because now you've been talking.
The studio was filled with the rich odour of roses, and when the light summer wind stirred amidst the trees of the garden, there came through the open door the heavy scent of the lilac, or the more delicate perfume of the pink flowering thorn.
Oh, dang nabbit. Give me a little bit more.
From the corner of the divan of Persian saddlebags on which he was lying, smoking, as was his custom, innumerable cigarettes, Lord Henry Wotton could just catch the gleam of the honey-sweet and honey-coloured blossoms of the laburnum, whose tremulous branches seemed hardly able to bear the burden of the beauty so flame-like as theirs, and now and then the fantastic shadows of birds in flight flitted across the long tussore silk curtains that were stretched in front of the huge window, producing a kind of momentary Japanese effect, and making him think of those pallid, jade-faced painters of Tokyo who, through the medium of an art that is necessarily immobile, seek to convey the sense of swiftness and motion.
Oh no, Henry what?
Lord Henry Wotton.
Is it in your colourful collection where Anna Queen Gables and that was?
No.
No, okay. So it's one of those like.
No, you're not
Is that my
allowed to
phone?
Google it. Yeah, you can't see anything anyway. Stop it. Not allowed.
Have I read it?
I don't know.
I
This is one that, to give you a clue, it's
know
one
the
that
name,
I
but-
studied in school. I don't know if you studied it.
know a picture of Dorian Gray.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never read it. Sorry if you can hear our gerbils, by the way, in the video.
Yeah. They are chewing stuff next to the
Yeah,
camera.
I've just realised that they've just come out and they're giving a little chew.
Oh, this one's gonna be so easy. My name is blank. I used to be a
Something.
guard.
Lol, this is Trials of Apollo.
Yeah. That's so annoying. I was hoping it would be less obvious.
Would you ever
Mhm.
do this video again, but I read the last line I got to you?
Yeah, I'd love that. We could do that in the future. That would be very good.
I don't know any of the characters in your books. Then Dracula keeled over and went to sleep. No.
Okay, you ready?
Sure, yeah.
I'll need to find the beginning of this book. In the beginning.
God, it's the Bible. I knew you were gonna do the Bible. You know what? I almost said it before you spoke because I could hear you laughing. And then when you said, "Oh, let me just find the beginning," I was like, "She's picked up the Bible."
Okay. So, I don't know how we did because I didn't keep track, but maybe I'll put scores up.
Yeah, I mean, I won.
You didn't even do as many as me. How can you win?
Ratio-wise,
Percentage.
I got things quicker. I was working out in my head. I got things quicker than you got them, so
I
I
don't
won.
think you did. Thank you for joining me and
worries.
doing that. That was fun. Thank you for joining me in my book place
And me.
and Caleb. Yeah, like and subscribe and stick around. It'd be cool to see you next time. But yeah, thank you and bye. Bye.